Здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Работает микрофон? Да, работает. Мне тут Денис прислал эти, походу, массовые сборы людей. Ну, на маленькой картинке заебись. В плане, как смотрится. На маленькой. Прям на очень маленьком. Там, как это, А35 экранчик. Не знаю, я хотел сделать больше разрешения, но не получилось. Разрешение больше не дает сделать на этом самом, с камеры. Он просто отключается и все. Ну, стоит 2К, стоит 2К. Вроде заебись. Я резкости подкрутил. Может поднять скорость. Хотя, попробуй. С телефона, да, с телефона будет отлично. Блин, я думал... Ладно, я потом похимичу. Видал? перебор. Да ёпта, ну пиздец. Залез, все сломал нахуй. Там, если там видишь, там лежит цветное пятно. Да, да, видно. Там полосочка. И как ж они тут распоясались, пока не было. Гейт? Гейт? Нет, дело не в гейте, дело в том, что я просто не в микрофон говорю. Гейт нужно увеличить, а не уменьшить. А если я увеличу, то будет плохо. Я просто не в микрофон говорил, вот и все. Короче, там Симба валяется. И лежал. Драку. Я тебе сейчас кину это самое, котейку Рената. Забавный. Да, давай, давай. Пиздец, конечно. Жестко, жестко. Что мне поделать?
Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today is the day, the kind of like video that I never planned to do, but unfortunately have to do. And this is not only because I freaking shaved off my beard and I look like Gollum, so I could probably apply to, the next part of Lord of the Rings or something. Doesn't matter. So yeah, as the title says, as the thumbnail says, this is kind of like the end of MB Extreme, the end of me. Not like physically, but you guys get the idea. Um, this video is basically meant for all the people that have been following me for many years. Also, the old Twitch followers and subscribers that are sub for like 80 months or something. I just feel like that I want to like spread the message, what's going on, what happened, the plan forward, and so on and so forth. So I'm 100% aware that this video might not be really good for the channel itself, but whatever. I just feel like I want to spread the message so you guys know what's going on. All right. As the title already says, streaming, content creation in general, Path of Exile, and so on just doesn't work out for me anymore. It hasn't worked out since like more than 2 years. But I kind of like just try to like shake it off and be like, hey, just survive until PoE 2. Everything will be great. Everything will be awesome again. I can probably reignite the spark that I once had for all this like gaming and stuff like that. But it sadly absolutely didn't. And yeah, I came to a point where I quitted my business today. So today, 13th of April, is the last day where I can say I'm self-employed. Tomorrow I'm jobless. And yeah, that's basically the entire thing. So I want to go over some information if somebody cares. I don't know, like keep watching if you want to, or if not, then I really appreciate for you guys hanging out for so long and sticking with me. So a big thank you to all of you guys, and for the others that are still interested what happened and so on, then yeah, I guess just keep listening while I'm just like talking. So yeah, I've been like content creation is something that I've been doing since I think 2007, and I think 2009 is when the first time I used MB Extreme as my online name, whatever. And it has been a hobby next to full-time job, like everybody else. Just playing video games. Just the difference is that I decided to share my passion on YouTube, and yeah, just uploaded videos, World of Warcraft, whatever I was playing. It's just like I have a passion for video games, and I was just like wanting to share it, basically, right? So the years went on. At some point, I was like kind of earning enough money with like YouTube and stuff where I said like, wait a second, I could technically become a full-time content creator if I just do this full-time. And that's what I basically did in 2018. So I've been full-time since 7 years by now. And yeah, the first like couple of years were great, and then it starts to crumble all, and yeah, it just became terrible. And in terrible, I just mean insanely bad income, like just enough to pay rent and food, and that's basically it. Like no vacation, no nothing, no car, no. I just but it's fine. It's just like what are your goals in life, and what do you try to achieve? And when I'm like, hey, I'm fine playing video games all day long, then that's basically my decision, right? And yeah, that's basically how I lived the last couple of years. Well, I have to say that the first years were better because we do have or did have consistent leaks with like 3 months. And from the financial aspect, it's basically if you have like a 3 month cycle on Path of Exile, basically the first league start as a content creator is good money. Then the second month, if you're still playing, is okay. The third month is absolutely dead, like nothing, right? But this is basically where you can take a vacation or take a break and so on, and then refill your batteries for the upcoming league start again. And this cycle just basically continues, right? And it's like 3 years ago or something where GGG decided to do like 4 month cycles instead of 3 months. It's basically every time when you open like Twitter or something and they're like, oh, by the way, we're delaying the next league by like a month or 2 months, you sit here and be like, great, 2 months extra without income. Like, how am I going to do this? Somehow I still managed to do it for whatever reason with like side jobs and stuff like that. But I always like basically 2 years ago, I was really on the edge of just saying like I just cannot do this anymore. Every month is such a freaking struggle, especially with all the stuff that you have to pay as a self-employed, from healthcare, taxes, and so on and so forth. And I don't want to give you like guys real numbers because they don't really matter too much because it's always like based on where you live. If you earn like $3,000 a month, right? In some countries, it's like a lot of money, and in other countries, it's like bare minimum, more or less, right? So the real money, like the numbers, don't really matter too much. But I can just tell you that it was barely enough to afford rent and food, basically. So, as I said 2 years ago was the point where I said like I just cannot do this anymore. It's basically just trying to survive month after month, and we're far away from the point where playing video games is actually fun, where it's exciting, where it's something that you really want to do. It just became something that you have to do to just somehow pay bills and stuff like that, right? And this basically also marked the time when I just personally said that my content also became worse. It's just like if your energy and your motivation, everything is just going down, like with all these like gamble videos, I'm a person, I just cannot gamble for fun in a video game when I'm just feeling terrible, for example, right? I just, yeah, trying to do it, but it's just rough to do. But I said to myself, like, hey, come on, dude, just survive another like 1 year, 2 years, whatever it takes until Path of Exile 2 comes out, because this will change everything. It will most likely change the way the leagues function, because as you know, GGG promised like, okay, we're gonna do like 3 month cycle for PoE 2, then PoE 1, and they're gonna like overlap. And I was like, bro, that would be insane. So I can play 2 month PoE 2 into 1 month PoE 1, and then just continue the cycle. It would basically increase my income by like 10 times or something, and then we're chilling. Then we finally made it. But as you guys can imagine, PoE 2, the early access is so far from being done. It's something where the community is just so split apart if it's actually a good game or a bad game. But the time just ran out for me, basically, right? Because I was really hoping that I can make like a good amount of money just to like, self-sustain another year, and wait for the progression of Path of Exile 2. But honestly, even though Path of Exile hit like 10 times the numbers than PoE 1 did, income wise, for me, it was actually worse than PoE 1, which is kind of like crazy to think about. And yes, I know it has been my fault. I should have done more. I could have been better. I could blah, blah, blah. I wasn't. So there is the point. So, it's what could have been is always like a weird topic to talk about, but I was just not doing enough, right? And especially last year, August or whenever the Settlers League came out, that kind of league broke me mentally, just because I was like non-stop grinding. Like, I don't know, I had like 400 hours in this specific month of Settlers League, trying to upload a video every day, trying to stream every day for like 10 hours, just to try to be as much online as I can, just to make money, basically, right? And I ended up having, I think, like 4,000 at the end of the month after like 400 hours, where I was like, bro. And this 4,000 has now to last for the next like 3 months or something until the next league, and basically we're still waiting for 326. So it maybe comes in May. No, wait, they made an announcement that it's now June or something, right? It just, whatever I do, it just not enough, and for me, it's I'm
Вот поэтому нельзя никогда полагаться на вот такое. М, Бедный чел, он, короче, заложник одной игры, вот и все. Сказали по поводу этого или нет?
I just digged my own grave in the past 2 years, basically, by just telling myself nonstop, like, hey, it's gonna be better soon, it's gonna be better. But, at some point, you're just gonna realize that it's not gonna get better. In the end of the day, if I turn back 2 years, it's became indefinitely worse, up to a point where now we're sitting in end of April, and I still have no freaking clue how to pay rent next month. I have no clue how to pay rent in 2 months, for example. I'm just completely blank. Whatever, it's maybe it's just a silent cry for help or anything, but I just want to give you guys an understanding what is going on with me as a person and the channel, and why hasn't been any streams, because it just developed as a non-diagnosed kind of like depression where I just like sit here and just wondering about life and then what am I supposed to do and stuff like that. Up to a point where in the morning you wake up, you look at the clock, and you're like, okay, what are we going to do today? Nothing. So we turn away the clock. I feed the cats, and then gonna lay down in bed because I've just no motivation anymore to just get my ass up, right? And I don't want to say that I'm suicidal by any means. I just, I'm just completely lost at this point. I do have plans moving forward to just basically fix my life or try to have a normal life again after all these years of non-stop playing video games, because everything, as you can imagine, if you're just living in front of the PC, everything goes down in terms of like socializing, friends, family. You know, you just don't have anything anymore if you just sit here and play video games. And basically, you could say the time stopped for me 10 years ago, right? And now I'm waking up and I'm like, okay, now I'm 10 years older, and what have I achieved in life? Like absolutely nothing. I don't have a car, I don't have any expectations, or I don't even want to go into too much detail about this entire thing because, as you can imagine, it's not an easy topic to talk about, and I'm 100% aware that I'm not the only person that kind of feels like lost in life. It's just a phase, I guess, and I hope that I'm gonna get through this. Moving forward, so I do think that the best thing for me is to join the army again. So I want to go away from the PC again. I want to like just I was in the army before being self-employed streamer, and I think the best thing for me is to go back. I do have my exams, my tests and stuff like that for the military in like 2 weeks from now, where I have no idea if I'm gonna pass these tests. But in the best case scenario, at the 1st of September, I would be eligible for an education as an officer in the army, since I did my A levels some like before I started to become a streamer, so I can study military and stuff like that. So I think like for me personally, that would be the way to go. For now on, it's like waiting. As I said, I have my exams in like 2 weeks. If I fail those, I might get another chance in like a month from now, where I can like prepare myself better or whatever is going to happen. And in the best case scenario, I can start in September. Yeah, about content creation. So as I was explaining, um, I was being a content creator way before I become self-employed, way before I become a streamer and stuff like that, and that is still the plan. So I just wanna go back to a point of my life where I just have my regular job, my regular income. I don't need to worry about any delayed leaks. I can be mad, but not like devastated if GGG says, "Hey, we're gonna delay a leak," and I can be vocal when there is a shit leak, and I can be like, "Hey, dude, fuck off." I just want to have like a normal life again. That's basically it, and this is what I'm currently working on. I just want to say it's probably I will not be able to stream 30 days straight when there is a leak start and stuff like that because of work. But this is just yeah, how it is. All right, guys, that basically sums up the video. I want to say big thanks to all of you guys for supporting me all over the years, for all the people that are every day. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, yeah, that is basically the entire thing. It's so hard for me to actually process what has happened the past 3 days, basically after I uploaded the video. The enormous feedback that I've gotten, the countless of mails and DMs on Discord, and so many people reached out to me, other content creators and everything, and I just don't even know. Like, I really apologize here, but I just have no idea what even to say, how to respond to all of this. Um, it is absolutely mind-blowing, ridiculous. I just don't even have the words in the slightest to, like, how thankful I am to have this community. Like, it's to have so many people that offered help and everything. It is I still have problems just to process on what has happened, and obviously I want to like reach out to every single person that has helped basically, or is helping in that case, to say thank you, but it's there has been so many people, and it will take some time for me to reach out to everybody. And man, it's I still cannot really believe on this entire situation right now. It's like, as I made the video, it's like, you just make it public that things are not going well, and all this stuff. I don't want to like go into this anymore, but it's like you walk this road, like this big freaking rock, and the rock is just getting heavier over time. And then all of a sudden, there's people rushing over, slam the rock. Everybody takes a little piece and say like, "Hey, bro, let's go for a walk." Everybody takes a small chunk, and that's about it. It's like all the problems, all this like stomach pain in the morning when you wake up and whatever, it just vanished. It just gone. And this is something I just it's so hard for me to really like realize and yeah, think what just happened. It's absolutely mind-blowing for me on what has happened the past 3 days. I've been talking to so many people, um also like closer friends and other content creators, and I said like we reached a point where I start to feel bad, and the reason for that is you guys have donated so much money that
Ну ты
I have
заебал.
no clue on what to even do now. Like the entire year is just safe. I could safely say I don't have to worry about anything this year in terms of a financial aspect. I can fully focus on whatever is going on, and yeah, I mean, I'm still like what I say. What I mean with like I feel bad about it. It's just like it has been so much more than what was ever needed, basically, right? And and I was talking to a bunch of friends, and they said like, bro, you deserve, like, keep that in mind. You deserve it, And I'm like, how am I supposed to deserve that? Like within overnight, basically, your life completely changed for the better, obviously. And I'm like, why? I'm a man of logic, it doesn't really make sense to me. Usually, you do hard work and then you get paid. And if you don't do hard work, you don't gonna get paid, basically, right? And now all of a sudden, just like this, all your problems fade away, you know? And people constantly say, like, bro, just remind yourself you have been putting in the work all over these years, like people don't have to do anything, nobody was forced to donate money and help you out in that case. Everybody is doing it because they want to, you know? They want to like appreciate, like the times that like that you have been around, all the content that you brought and stuff like that. Just say thank you and move on with your life, and yes, it's exactly what I kind of have to do or should do or whatever. But man, you guys have no idea on how grateful I am. Not in the slightest. Like, thank you. That is basically all I can say. I'm just still like, will take a couple of days to really like, you know process this, and yeah, I mean, thank you guys. Thank you. that's that's it, man.
Кидали нормально.
Just like it has been so much.
Скайт есть. А, был. Крон. Хуйня кидали. Где-то видос попадался. Так.
So here we go. There has been this girl, like there's been like a astronomical, massive fucking amount of VTuber drama. I did not get a chance to see this at all. I was gone. Oh boy, buckle up. Yeah, I heard this was this might be one of the biggest ones that's happened. We're talking about Cinder? Yes, we are talking about Cinder. I apologize. I was a day late on this, but we're going to get to it.
Oh my fucking god, here we go again. Now, what is it this time? It's nothing gacha related. Surprisingly,
wow.
This is VTuber related. Now, we're talking about Cinder today. Now, if you don't already know, Cinder is a pretty fucking big VTuber, co-owner of Gamer Subs, which I'm still trying to get sponsored by, but god fucking damn it, they don't want me. But she's a big content creator, VTuber, obviously. She is a
Лимитер или что? Я не понимаю, он не заглушит. А, во, все, он глушит, я вижу.
Yep, I can see why people watch that, definitely.
I know. Now, she's had a little drama recently, and a little is a fucking understatement, because she is for the VTuber community, she is cooked, okay? She is cooked. Now,
I do think that after all of this, this might have actually just ended her career. Like, she'd have to, like, rebrand or do something totally different, because I've never seen such a unified hate towards a VTuber ever before in my life. This is probably the biggest amount of hate that I've ever seen towards a VTuber before.
Tweeted out this, effective immediately. Redacted will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry, everyone. I will make a larger response when I'm able. Now, if you don't know who Redacted is, from my knowledge, don't take this as guaranteed, but from my knowledge, Redacted is their boyfriend, or so to say.
What a surprise. There are a lot of these girls, and this is extremely common, that lie about having a boyfriend in order to continue farming simps and getting donations. It's a meme on the internet, and I think in a lot of cases it isn't true, but there's a reason why it's a meme. It's because in some cases it actually in fact is.
Something like that, or a girlfriend, I don't fucking know. It's their love. What even happened? Nanolus, a great artist, tweeted out, "Hello, I'm here to share something that has affected me personally."
Shondo called it out months ago. Well, everybody called it out. I mean, of course, this is what happens. Let me see if I can find the clip about that. Give me a second. Fuck. Sender. I'm not seeing the clip. I'm sorry, guys. I would play it, but I might not be able to. Maybe it's a tweet. I thought it was her talking about it. Either way, yeah, a lot of VTubers do have secret boyfriends. Of course they do.
And hurt others.
I mean, it's
this was
common
very
sense,
hard
right?
for me, but I feel it is necessary. Please do not send hate to anyone on my behalf. This is all I want to say, with a Google Doc attached. Now, this Google Doc is pretty fucking long, right? Pretty fucking long with some damning evidence. Now, I'm personally not gonna read all of this because I have a great summary. Tectone tweeted out, after 2 hours, 4 documents, and 2 posts, and a lot
2 hours reading this shit?
Of reading, here are the major takeaways on the Cinder situation in each document posted. What we can conclude: Nano's document, Redacted is Cinder's mouthpiece. Confirmed Cinder knew everything Redacted said. Red/Sin were attempting to monopolize an editor/artist against their desires. Guilt tripped and manipulated them into doing their work and no one else's. What Cinder's doing isn't fucked up to do to one's competition. However, doing it to their friend is a whole different story.
So she was trying to be friends with people. So let me get this straight. It was a girl who was trying to be friends with other girls, but she was actually secretly trying to backstab them the entire time. Am I getting this right? Huh. I think that's the first time this has happened.
Redacted gaslighting Nanoless using revisionist history. Rain's document. Cinder sexting another man while in a relationship. Cinder trauma dumping to another person about how bad her relationship is to someone she is interested in.
That's bullshit to me.
Rain and Cinder are very scummy in this document. Rain claims this wasn't meant to be a witch hunt, but it very clearly was done with the proper timing to have this document gain the traction they wanted, and so it did. Is that wrong?
100%.
Up to you to decide. Vamp's post. Vamp exposes Red being Cinder's boyfriend. Not really a big deal. Tons of VTubers hide the fact that they have SOs to farm more parasocials to get gifted and super chats.
I love that Tectone just fucking says it. It's not even like a controversial statement. It's just like a clarifying statement that everybody knows and acknowledges to be real. Did Namarath do this? Many girls do this. Very many girls do this. The fact is that a lot of guys, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. A lot of people aren't going to say it. They don't want to hear it, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If a guy cannot imagine himself in a relationship with you, if you are a female streamer, the probability of you being one of his streamers that he watches goes down massively. That's the truth. I know it sounds weird, and that's because it is, but that's the reason why if you look at the top 100 male streamers, you've got a number of weird-looking or ugly dudes. If you look at the top 100 female streamers, you don't see a single ugly girl. That's the reason why every VTuber is an extremely idealized, attractive version of a girl. That's why they all have big tits and they bounce around and they're cute. That's it. That's the reason. And the fact is that guys watch these girls because they want to imagine having a parasocial relationship with them. And by the way, how many of you, and I know it sounds crazy, how many of you have ever seen one of these girls that announces that she gets a boyfriend and then like her amount of gifted subs goes down massively, donations goes down massively, maybe even viewership goes down massively? Yeah, right? We've always seen this happen. It's because guys give these girls money and there is the hidden hope that one day they will get noticed. And I know it sounds pathetic, and that's because it is pathetic, but it's also true.
Lots of streamers do this. Not really a big deal for wanting to keep your private life private.
Yeah, sure.
However, if Cinder throws away her boyfriend to try to alleviate some negative PR, that is going to be a big yikes from me, dog.
Yeah,
Bow's
for sure.
document. Dispels claims that Cinder and Red were making, calling Bao an editor and an MV maker thief. Confirms how hurt she is by having her friend attempt to be overly competitive and ruin her image and her models and impacting her career negatively. Says that Cinder could make it to the top, but when she gets there, she will be alone. Bao dispels claims that she locked up Sacred, her editor. Bao completely absolves herself from the wrongdoing. Great doc. Spite's document. Spite insinuates that Cinder is and was copying her, not the other way around. Screenshots of these claims are pretty damning. Spite showing off her outfit in July 2022, Cinder then having a near identical outfit on September 14th, 2022.
Yeah, this is obviously like just ruthless businesswoman situations. Like, I think that's really what's going on here. I don't understand half of this.
Sacramore TV's document, supporting some of Bao's claims to be true. Major takeaways. To be honest, things look absolutely horrible for Cinder. Yet I will be waiting for her response just to do my due diligence. It has been alleged with a lot of damning screenshots as well as other corroborating the narrative.
She did make a response. Somehow it made things even worse.
That is being pushed. Cinder is currently being alleged as overly competitive with her friends in the VTubing space, willing to undermine and backstab her friends to get ahead, gaslight and manipulate editors slash workers to get her way, cheating on significant other, a model slash rigger thief. People speculate she is going to throw away her current boyfriend, Red, aka Redacted, to alleviate some negative PR coming her way.
Jesus.
But for now, I believe that is about it. I will wait and see Cinder's response and keep you all updated on any news or changes in perspective once we have everyone's side. All in all, this is very messy. And to be honest, I feel horrible for Cottontail, Bao, Shy Lily, Spite, and every other VTuber affected in this scenario. To be honest,
her response is sorry you felt this way and sorry my boyfriend did this to you in my name, basically washing her hands.
I don't really know what Cinder could possibly present to absolve her. Yet I will still do my due diligence. I am 31 years old and I just researched VTuber drama for 2 hours in front of 9,000 people on Twitch.
Wow.
I swear to God, I have not one but 2 jobs. But my God, this reeked of unemployment. Thanks for reading. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Holy allegations. Now, obviously, me personally, this shit is crazy. The fact that she's like backstabbing her friends kinda is crazy. I feel bad for Bao, Cottontail, and all of them. I mean, even here, like, Cottontail tweeted out, "This made my stomach drop to read. It makes me very sad to have things come out like this. Sending Nano and Bao so much love." With a screenshot from one of the docs. If you want to read those, go either watch, like...
It's just weird, bro. Like, this whole situation is really fucking weird. Like, the VTuber space, I think, has just gotten weird more and more and more. There's a Shondo tweet. Techdown is a second tweet talking about the apology. Yeah, I saw that.
Stone's video or like anyone else's video, because I bet y'all there's gonna be multiple videos on this. But it says here, what about we can pay Komori for you and you don't have to discount it from the next payment, and we'll continue giving you lots of model work, I think, for this year right now, but you don't work with Bao, Cotton, or Blank at all again, models or art. It's just crazy.
So trying to like pay them not to work with competition, obviously.
This is crazy. Y'all saw the allegations. Cheating on significant other, a model, rigger, thief, gaslight and manipulate editors, workers to get her way. Like, this shit is fucking crazy. Now, what do the people think? Obviously, Cottontail, upset. Bao, not too fucking happy. Spite, obviously, rightfully pissed. Because, I mean, based on her Google Doc, I mean, look at this shit, bro. Look at this shit. Sounds great. I'm so happy with it. July 20th, 2022. What do you think of my new outfit? September 14th, 2022.
Is it really that much
Straight
different?
up the same. Just copying. And she's
I feel like these are kind of different. Honestly, I do. Like, it's obviously like one clearly is like inspired from the other, but it's not like a one-for-one copy.
The fucking copycat. Like, this shit is bad, bro. This shit is fucking bad. I want to know, what do the people think? What are people saying? I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, "Just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip." As if I didn't know who he was.
So, bro, she's just leaking the entire thing.
Even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other, and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo. Jesus Christ. Someone who represents you and your intentions
Is that the Shondo tweet? What does it say? Translation: a lot of indie VTuber Oshis have boyfriends. Their boyfriends are reading your love confessions. Indies do not have managers unless they are actually corporate, and thus are not indie at all. Probably true.
Someone who represents you and your intention should never be someone like that. There's no amount of I'm sorry or bad judgment you can have in this situation. You need to actually own up and be ready to not be forgiven by lots of people.
Jesus Christ.
You did bad things. End of story. Nah, firing your manager is not fixing this. I do hope your longer reaction won't be a summary of...
She was trying to do this herself. It wasn't just her manager. Let's be honest.
I had no idea about
like,
this.
Again, like, any form, in my opinion, whenever a person begins or engages in any form of manipulation or disingenuous behavior, I assume that they will only do more of it.
But we'll stay away from judgment until that is out. Pushing your blame onto your manager isn't really
it's
the
just
move.
what people
He
do.
no longer represents me as a creator. Bro, the problem is you representing yourself. Not just your manager.
Man.
And then obviously you got analysts and people saying, we'll always be there to support you no matter what. I can't stand when people pressure others to avoid certain individuals.
That's so fucking weird.
It took a lot of courage to speak out about this, Nano. I hope you're doing okay. Heart. I'm so sorry you had to be put in this position. You're one of my favorite artists.
Elementary school boyfriend-girlfriend drama. The drama is kind of silly, but it's still funny for me to see it continue happening. And the other thing that I think is really funny to me is the fact that the meme or like the stereotype of like VTubers pretending not to have boyfriends or like female streamers in general, it actually happened and it came true again.
Even before I knew what the internet was.
Why can't streamers be honest and pure
I'm honestly
like
just
you?
baffled by all of this. I'm so sorry that this was even an energy you had to perceive in your lifetime. Like, obviously...
Yeah.
Dude, what the actual fuck? I'm sorry. Love you, Nano. Sorry you have to deal with this shit. Obviously, a bunch of fucking people are not too happy with Cinder right now. And she did say in her tweet, I'm sorry, everyone. I will make a larger response when I'm able. So she is going to respond. I'm going to be honest. Not looking good. Not looking good. I don't think she's going to be able to save herself. Gonna be honest. Gonna be very fucking honest.
I think she's going to have to do something different, or she might try to rebrand or something else. That's kind of what I'm expecting to see happen.
What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. She responded and it sucked? Yeah, exactly. 2-hour response incoming? Yeah, I know. I'll link you guys a video. But I remember seeing this myself, and I didn't really know what to think about it. But yeah, she'll pivot to NSFW. I mean, like, honestly, a lot of these VTubers are already on the edge of that already. So it's not that big of a fucking difference. But yeah, I mean, I think in a lot of cases, legal mindset saying reactive manager is making it legally worse, not better. You're liable for your manager's actions, torturous interference level. Look, I don't think anybody's going to be getting sued over this. I mean, realistically, I'm not expecting that to happen. But I do think that it does, like this, and this is the Tectone video, how a single tweet might have destroyed this VTuber's career. It is a 1 hour and 40-minute video, and the title is She's Done. Oh, man. That's a whole lot, isn't it? God fucking damn. Okay, time to make it 4 hours? No, no, no.
What's up guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we're going to take a behind the scenes look at a client shoot that I did with the Osmo Pocket 3 as my main camera. Yes, I got paid to do a shoot. I wanted to capture those establishing shots, so I put the Mini 4 Pro up to capture these. The thing is awesome, you know, the range is really where there's no people as well. This yacht show is apparently one of the biggest in Europe, so it was really impressive to see all of the yachts from all the different locations. So here we're in the yacht show and I'm just filming some stuff for the client. The idea was to go to different booths and do different content based on different things that were going on. I had a lot of time to really interesting for me to see because I've never really ventured into that world. Here I'm using the Insta360 selfie stick, and I'm putting the Osmo Pocket 3 on that to try and get more of a stable shot. I was actually trying to eliminate some of the bobbing from walking, which is something that the Osmo Pocket 3 unfortunately doesn't really get rid of. Using the selfie stick as well allows you to get crane shots as well. If you put the camera in horizon lock mode, then you can kind of do low to high shots. And I ended up doing this for a bunch of different shots throughout the day using that crane shot as well. Another reason that the Osmo Pocket 3 is really great, if you were to do this with a gimbal and an R5, you'd need a way stronger monopod to do it, which is obviously something I've done as well in the past. So here we're just taking a look at the grounds, the property a little bit more, getting drone shots, and then we're filming the process of the winemaking, which was, like I said, super fascinating. So the benefit of having this Osmo Pocket 3 was that it was just so quick to like set up and go. This process, there are like a lot of things going on, and we didn't want to interrupt the process of making the wine. So you kind of just had to grab and go, and this thing was the perfect tool for that. It's also very unintimidating in these environments where you're doing interviews, for instance. The subject, this guy was actually very familiar with being on camera, which was very, very handy. It makes a big difference. But if you do get a subject that is not used to being on camera, it's way less intimidating having this Osmo Pocket 3 than it is to, say, have a big cinema camera with all the shotgun mics and all these other things, monitor and attached to it. So now we're in the basement of the vineyard, of the winemaking production facility, and it was incredible the scale of this thing, like thousands and thousands and thousands of wine bottles from different eras, different seasons, and it was really, really cool down in the wine cellar where they had all of the barrels, and learning about that whole process. So here I'm going through and getting all the B-roll. We also did a huge tour through there as well that I didn't get any behind the scenes of. It was very long-winded and a lot of talking. But if you want to see some more of that content, you can see it on the other video that I filmed. It's like probably 10 or 12
пиздато
videos
сделано,
back in my
пиздато.
catalog. But this was super cool because there was like a special reserve area for some of the really old wines, and there was one even from 1975, I believe, which was really crazy. We didn't get to taste that, but that would have been really cool. This guy is also an art collector as well, so he showed us through his art collections and stuff, and this area in particular was really, really interesting because it had all the barrels lined up in the basement, which was really cool. But the challenge here, of course, was also that it's a darker environment, way darker environment. And I was really pleased at how well the Osmo Pocket 3 managed to capture it, even in that low light scenario. So it was a really good test. I didn't put it in low light mode. I actually kept it in the regular mode. And here I'm using the Mimo app as a way of using, as monitoring my shots. So like I said earlier, when I'm using the the Insta360 selfie stick extended, it's really hard to see that little screen on the Osmo Pocket 3. So using the Mimo app is actually a really great tool to monitor shots. And you could use this in various different ways as well. You could have a camera person like dedicated to making them, get a rig. So just like the Ronin series of gimbals, they have a little attachment so you can put
В руках снимает, да, заебись, но вот для плавности...
bland beginner shots to more creative, interesting shots. I'm in Tossa de Mar in Spain, a beautiful morning, and I'm going to go over some tips about how you can unlock your creative eye more with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. See the beginner. He's just wandering around with the Pocket 3, recording everything as he happens to see it. He gives out a lot of information to the viewer in one go, and it doesn't build much suspense. The boats are all in focus and it's shot at eye level. Now let's check out the Pro. He's planning the shot before he even has the Pocket 3 out. Instead of filming all the boats in one go, he's going to highlight one. And he'll use aspects of the surrounding boats to frame the shot and lead the eye in. They also add some depth with the out of focus foreground. He'll also film at a lower angle to disrupt the horizon. Using 4K 120 slow motion in tilt lock mode, he can just lean in and achieve a much smoother push-in shot. The beginner has a lot of indecisive motions. He pans the Pocket 3, then he moves his hand down, then he walks forward. This leads to a very stuttery shot, which is quite jarring for the viewer to watch. The Pro keeps his feet still when he needs to, and instead shifts his body weight to the side. He uses the foreground to add a reveal aspect to his shot and build suspense. Shooting in tilt lock mode and slow motion 4K 120, this leads to a higher production board. And almost like he's creating an Instagram story, he very quickly moves on to the next street. He chases some poor cat around with his Pocket 3.
Ты с каким паспортом путешествуешь? Паспортом какой страны?
Российским.
С российским?
Конечно.
И ты успеваешь получать там кучу виз, когда...
А зачем их получать? Они же длинные. Ну, то есть большинство виз, ну, они там длинные. Там, не знаю, там, в Великобритании на 10 лет. Кстати, успел поставить на 10 лет до войны. Сейчас, говорят, немножко сложнее. Хотя тоже это американская длинная, Шенген длинный. То есть, ну, и на самом деле там российский паспорт, он, ну, в целом очень сильный. В плане,
да. И даже после войны все равно он остается очень сильным.
После войны ничего не изменилось, он как был, таким и остается. После войны стало очень сложно получать Шенген, вот, но с Шенгеном там есть там, тоже определенные, как, ну не лазейки, да, но способы ездить в Европу, да.
Я думаю, ты как минимум можешь визу талантов какую-то получать, там,
да,
что-то вроде этого. Да.
В общем, никаких проблем нет.
Ты с каким паспортом путешествуешь? Паспортом какой?
Photography equipment can be really expensive, so today I wanted to try this little experiment to see if I could get a colored gel look without having to spend a lot of money on gels. And so materials-wise, I'm working with these colored folders that I found at Target, cut them up into strips, and then just taped them on kind of sloppily, but that's okay. Because my theory is that if you put this on top of a flash, it should give you a pretty cool, like, colored lighting effect. And even though it is blizzarding out, I decided it'd be cool to maybe see if we could get some light reflection off of the snow. And honestly, it turned out a lot cooler than I had thought, and I can't wait to use this concept for a real like fashion editorial sometime down the line. And this proves yet again that it's not about gear, it's about your creativity and what you make of everything. Photography equipment can be really expensive.
Okay. Да. Понял. Что, он не перекидывает ссылки-то? Перекидывает. Осталось. Чем ящериц, чем ящериц, ящерки. Loot lizard in your castle always drop a unique item and they have double chance to drop that tail. Chance to be by blue or green lizard. Разница какая? О, бля, заебись. Я не знаю, что такая штука есть. Сейчас это что надо. Это хрень будет, как называется это? Не Forge. Action. Ну-ка, why? Being wrong by earning or spending memory amber, which we found items and symmetries of the price. On the 3 point, you can purchase 3 new ну хуйня, тут ничего такого не дает. Осталось 29. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. А где еще 21 пункт взять? У него вообще на додж и резист. Один вот какой у него. Блять, на эту хуйню не поймать. Я не могу поймать, сколько уже не делал. Опять мили атака. Подожди. Вариации 30. Мне надо такой другой найти схожий. Была верхняя такая. Раньше категории. Я понял. Не понял. Здесь что у него? ПП, реген. Так, мне надо что-то... Я ставлю. Также мне надо посмотреть. Да. Dodge, please. Ой, тут поменялось, это другая броня. И лук другой. А, это на колд. На колд. Поезд такого у меня нету еще. Да, все одинаковые пояса. Окей. О, есть. Подожди, а можно как-то посмотреть, где он падает? Так, у меня есть такое. Вот это у меня тоже есть. What's your open? Three water orbs were cast. И это одеть. доделать и валить спать.
Scared of the unknown and not the past. Look for distractions so we can get it off our minds. It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never alone. It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never alone. Don't give up, it's not the end. This could be the best it's ever been. Don't give up, it's not the end. Just give it time, it'll be alright again. Just give it time, it'll be alright again. It'll be alright again. It'll be alright again. It'll be alright again. We got a fire inside our soul that don't go out. We're beautiful people that can't quit pressing on. It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never alone. It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never
Я уже засыпаю, надо идти спать, 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 спать. Ага. Все, хватит, спать.